Well, George Orwell knew a thing or two about free speech. You could fill a book with sensible things he had to say about it. This quote especially resonates today. At any given moment, there is an orthodoxy, he wrote, a body of ideas of which it's assumed that all right-thinking people will accept without question. It's not exactly forbidden to say this, that or the other, but it's not done to say it. Well, incredibly, things have got a great deal worse since Orwell wrote that, because it is indeed now forbidden to say this, that or the other. And the orthodoxy today is the draconian, illiberal worldview stamped on public life by woke fundamentalists, this cancel culture mob, set all the rules, trampling over our rights to free speech in the process. And anyone who doesn't conform is instantly slammed, silenced and shamed. And much of it is, of course, politically motivated. That's why former President Trump is barred from Twitter, even though 74 million people voted for him in a democratic election. But Vladimir Putin, the supreme leader of Iran, and the Taliban are all still free to tweet. This is obviously utterly ridiculous. Now, the billionaire maverick and free speech absolutist Elon Musk, who's about to buy Twitter, says that the ban is morally wrong and he will reverse it. And he's been supported by Jack Dorsey, one of the founders of Twitter. Trump told me he doesn't actually want to return to Twitter, even if he's allowed to, but I reckon he'll change his mind about that. And the point is, it should be his decision. Liberals have reacted with an inferno of rage and panic, as they always do to everything, ever since Musk said he'd restore free speech and Trump to the platform. London Mayor Sadiq Khan today blamed Trump for a massive spike in abuse he got online. But even he says he's open to Trump returning, but he qualified it by adding, let's wait and see if Donald Trump has learned his lesson. If it's the case, I think that's all well and good. If he breaks the rules, there need to be consequences. Well, that's fine, words. But there's the nub of the problem. Who decides what those rules are which are to be broken? All racist abuse is wrong, and so is any incitement to violence. But both of those things are already illegal. Free speech doesn't mean you can break the law, nor does it mean you have to continue listening to somebody who's spewing something vile that you don't like. To illustrate that, sports presenter illiberal has written today about how she dealt with completely unacceptable homophobic and racist comments made during an after-dinner speech at a Scottish sports awards at the weekend. She didn't demand the speaker be cancelled, but she did exercise her right to walk out, and she exercised her right to free speech to call it out on Twitter. And that was right. Believe me, and this may shock you, people do say nasty things about me all the time on the internet. I don't want to cancel them, but I do sometimes block them or call them utter morons. That too is an exercising of my right to free speech.